Today I'm going to be presenting about the power of imagination. So in general, there are two types of imaginary games or ways that children play pretend. One is fantasy play, which is mostly played, it starts around 2 to preschool age, which is where they aren't fully engaged into the storyline and they usually break character. And then there's also socio-dramatic play, which is where they're really involved in the character and they usually don't break it, and they get the inspiration for these stories that they're playing along to from a lot of the media that's put out, like Disney movies and things such as that. So many studies have shown that imagination in children, children playing pretend and playing these make-believe games has a lot of benefits into their development. So a big one is increase in complex language use. So it gets them to use more adjectives and things like this such. It also helps them understand how to express emotions. It gives them kind of an outlet to pretend as if they're feeling a certain emotion and then act on it. And it kind of gives them practice for real life. It also greatly increases creativity. Some of the most creative people that we consider creative played a lot of imaginary games when they were children. It also teaches them self-regulation. So if they put themselves in a situation and they pretend that something's happening, they react to that situation as a person would, So it also can be a very helpful teaching tool for things that you might not think it would be, like math and science. It really helps children engage and understand more. It also teaches them to be flexible in a situation. Like I said, when they create a storyline and they're imagining anything can happen, they can make whatever happen that they want and they react to it however they want to. So, imagination and playing pretend in these games, they are imitating society and what they see in the media, in the world around them. So it helps them understand that thoughts and feelings guide actions more than anything else. It also helps them predict the actions of other people. Say they're pretending to be a fireman. If there's a fire alarm, they understand that they will run to the truck and go put out the fire, things like that. So there's also the theory of mind, which is, in a very simplistic way, it's the theory that everyone thinks differently and everyone has a different mindset. So it helps children understand that by playing different characters and putting themselves in different situations. It also helps them get a deeper understanding of the world around them, and it makes them more observant of behavior and such. But this also means that they can mimic bad behavior. And that's why it's important for the media and society to set a good example for children. And overall, playing these pretend games is just a way for them to try to understand the world and project themselves into it, even though they're not fully grown and not really integrated into the world yet. So one prime example of this is Alice through the Looking Glass. So Alice is a small child and there's a mirror and she is pretending or believes that the world in the mirror is a different world that she can go into. And so this is very representative because it literally reflects and mimics the real world, except once she goes deeper inside of it, she can change it to how she wants it to be. And she can use her imagination to make it whatever she wants. So how many people know of Albert Einstein? Pretty much everybody. He's one of the most famous people ever. And imagination is also very important in adults, even though it's not really encouraged and it's kind of looked down upon. But Einstein didn't fit into society's box of what a good student should look like. He thought differently, he was always daydreaming, but this was his way of thinking, and he is now considered a genius. He is considered one of the smartest people in the world that ever was, because he was imaginative and he was always thinking. And he always imagined new things. So the world can't change if he doesn't imagine new things. So art is a great way to express your imagination, because especially in these photos, you can see that it is like reality, but it's different. It's juxtaposition, it changes your perspective, and it surprises you. And this is art is a very good way to show imagination, because it creates a visual of it so that everyone else can see what you're seeing. So going too far, sometimes imagination can be a dangerous thing. Okay, sorry. Excuse that. Sometimes emotions, when they're very strong, it influences your imagination, and it causes you to project very dramatic situations that are actually happening. So one example is Damon Wilson, who was the police who shot Michael Brown in Ferguson in 2014. And this was a huge controversy, and Damon Wilson, the police officer, said that when he saw Michael Brown, he looked like a demon. So as you can see, the strong emotions he was feeling and the messages he got from society about different races and these criminals, supposedly, really affected his imagination and how he perceived it. So it is shown also that children who have very active imaginations also have very intense anxiety a lot of the time. And also, it doesn't really apply to adults, like the theory of imagination. People always say, get your heads out of the clouds. It's not realistic. Once you grow up, you have to live in reality, and you have to be planted in reality, and you can't imagine anymore. Also, it's scary because imagination can be scary. It can trick you into thinking things aren't real. It can scare you even if you know it's not real, and things like that. So, overall, imagination should be encouraged. It's very important for children's development, and it makes a more creative world. So when people say things like, get your head out of the clouds, and they have an active imagination, but they say it with a negative connotation, it's not good, it's not helpful, because imagination is a good thing overall. It helps the world become a better place. It helps people become better, and it helps society get new innovations. Thank you.
All right. So I have 2 questions. So explain your level of certainty about the conclusion you have.
There were multiple studies that showed that imagination was incredibly important in child development and how it led to them growing up and understanding the world. Although there were a lot of studies that kind of conflicted with each other, the general agreement was that it was good for kids. Like, there's a general disagreement about how kids imagine, and if they do it through action or through thinking and things like that. There's a little disagreement, but overall, it's very clear that playing pretend is very important for children.
Okay. So how did you, what strategies did you use to find your research? And how was that strategy effective?
I think it was pretty effective. I used a lot of things I thought of from the past. There was a movie that I saw, and I looked it up again and watched it again. It really helped me with my research, and it helped me inspire me to connect a bunch of different theories, and it helped me create my topic. And then I would also just search in a lot of keywords, a lot of different variation words, and I got a lot of different interesting research through there. I would mix child psychology, imagination, and imagination in adults, child development, things like that, imagination in the classroom, things like that. And I think it was very helpful because it gave me a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different information that I could string together to make into one imagination.
All right, thank you.